بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Arabic reading and writing for beginners. Sorry for being late, but alhamdulillah, this is the first day of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. And I hope it was okay for everyone. And I'm glad that you were able to join me tonight. I know it's difficult, especially at this time, but alhamdulillah, that's all what we can do. This is a course that we're gonna learn how to read and also write. Hopefully by the end of the course, you'll be able to, inshallah, read the Quran by yourself. We're gonna actually start reading, believe it or not, to some level, the Quran from tomorrow. Not reading it, of course, but scanning with your eyes. We're gonna talk about it. And as you know, anything we do with the Quran, any letter that we read is counted for us as 10 hasanat. So there's a lot of barakat, inshallah. I'm gonna go straight to the gist of this. This book is finally done in electronic fashion. So if you, I'm gonna text you close to the end of the class my email address. If you can copy it and send me an email, I can share it with you. You don't need it, but it'll be nice to have it in the future if you wanna go back to it, because we're gonna go through it page by page through this course, except for the first part, which talks about numbers. We're not gonna go through numbers. And in this electronic version, by the way, there's this link, online material, which also will lead you, if you click on it, it will actually jump to a YouTube channel that I have where I taught this course before. You're gonna see a long version of the sessions, hour-long sessions, but also I'll be adding today and this Ramadan sessions, which will be much shorter. So when you wanna review them, it'll be much quicker for you. So I think you'll like it better. Today we're gonna have lesson 1. We're not gonna do the stop by the numbers. We're gonna go straight to the letters and talk about ba, ta, tha. And as we go, we're gonna do first the lesson, and then I'll give you something to do during the day, and then the next night we're gonna practice together. So the real work is gonna be together all the time, since we're meeting every night, inshallah. Make sure you have a notebook ready with you and a pen or a pencil because you're gonna be needing them. Let's start with the letters. Quick introduction. There are 28 letters in the Arabic language. Some of them are heavy, we call them heavy, and some of them are light. Heavy letters are pronounced while making an oval with your lips. So I'll give you an example. If I say ta, ta is a heavy letter versus ta. Ta, I say it smiling. That's a soft letter or a light letter. So we're gonna use this nomenclature, this way of calling these letters as we go like that. So heavy letters versus light letters. Letters look differently in the Arabic language depending on their position in the word. So sometimes a letter, you know, in every shape, if you look at the bottom of the screen, I'll ask again, Brother Rizan, if he can see this with me quickly. Can you see the letter ba down there, or all 5 of them?
Yes.
Jazakallah khair. So each letter can look differently depending on its position. That's one. You cannot see that here, but we're gonna see it in the next slide. And each letter also can be pronounced in different ways depending on the accents that are on top of it or below of it. Now, it's gonna sound too much for you at first, but don't worry, that's why I'm here. We're gonna go through it step by step and we're gonna make it easy, actually. even though every letter can look different in different positions, and the same letter can sound different depending on the accents, it still is a straightforward language to learn, but you need practice. And it's actually, in my opinion, easier now to learn than before, and other languages also. For example, in English, the letter A can be pronounced in different ways, but there's nothing that tells you how to pronounce it. For example, the letter A in the word car. Car, the A sounds as ah, r, car. But also the same letter, you say a car. So now you have A and ah. The same letter is in different places, but nothing tells you why or when should you pronounce it differently. And also the same letter in the word bad, now you have a car, bad. So the same letter pronounced in 3 different ways. And for somebody learning the language from the first time, he has to actually memorize all the different words to know how to pronounce the letter. As for the Arabic language, it was like that before, but alhamdulillah, through time, and in order to make it easy for non-Arabic speakers, and even the Arabic speakers who started losing their own Arab language, they added those accents. Those accents didn't exist before. And now, whenever you see a letter with an accent on top or on the bottom, you know exactly how to pronounce it wherever it is. So it's in actuality, it's easy to pronounce once you know the rules. So the accents are 4 of them. I'm gonna go down here. Let's take an example. There's this letter, ba. Let me try to use some annotation here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to use this on my computer for the first time. So this letter, ba, it can be having 4 different accents. So this is accent 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the letter is the same, but the accents are different. The letter with this accent, it's pronounced as ba, b, boo, b. And in the book, I try to explain it sounds like ba, right? B, boo, b. Okay, and as you can see, it's really the same letter. It's a b, the letter B, if you want to compare it to English, but you keep going in a different way depending on the accent. Ba, B, boo, b, right? So we're gonna also be using this picture right here in the beginning as we go through the letters, so we learn and try to master how to pronounce every letter. So this picture shows all the letters of the alphabet. And as we go through the lessons, I will be pointing out where every letter should be coming out of. So for example, this letter ba that we just pronounced, if I want everybody in the background to try to say ba, ba, not to unmute yourself, but just at home, wherever you know, through your device, in front of your device, just say ba, you're gonna realize that that letter comes straight from your lips, correct? Ba, ba. And so when we are learning first how to pronounce these letters, we want to make sure they match this picture, because if you're trying to say ba and it's really, you feel like you're saying it from here, that means you're saying the wrong letter. And that's what this picture is doing here. It's helping us go through these things. Okay. Now, I don't want you to freak out over here, but there's a lot on this page, but don't worry, we're gonna decipher it and go through it little by little, okay? We have 4 letters, and that's what we're gonna go through. And what I'm trying to start with, the technique that I'm gonna be trying to teach you with is learn first the shape of the letters. The idea behind this course is first we're gonna learn the shapes of the letters. Try to be able to detect the letters and know that, oh yeah, I see this letter. I know which letter that is. I wanted to be able to go through the words in the Quran, and while you're going through them, you're like, oh yeah, I know this letter, it's this letter. Oh, I don't know these letters, but I know that letter, and it's this letter, right? So I wanted to be able to detect letters based on their forms, because we said every letter can have several forms. And once we know which form we're looking at, we talk about the sound. So I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Here I'm showing 4 rows. Row 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're not here to learn the name of the letters. The name of this letter is Alif, okay? I'm not here to teach you about the name. It's just gonna make things more complicated for people who want to read from the beginning and at a fast-paced course. So we just wanna pronounce letters. We just wanna read. So this letter, when we put a fath'a on top of it, right? I'll just remind you what a fath'a is. That's what we're gonna focus on for now. This is the fath'a, right? This is the fath'a. This fath'a makes the a sound, right? Although we have the e, u, and sounds, all what I want for now is to focus on the fath'a, okay? So let's go back down. So the a, this letter is in red. There's also blue symbols that I put, and I put a note for you. Symbols in this color are not considered letters. They're not really the letters, but what I wanted to say is this symbol, which if you see here, every single symbol has this in it, right? This one has it on top, this one has it on the top left, this one by itself, this is on top, etc. This symbol called Hamza exists in every single one of them. And it is because of this symbol that you will know how to pronounce these when you're reading. So this is tip number 1 today. Instead of looking at this and saying, oh my God, I have to memorize all of these shapes to know how to pronounce them. Look how many different shapes. I mean, there's so many actually. Instead of doing that, I want you to focus on one thing and one thing only. Where do you find this shape? If you find this shape, then you pronounce it as a. Okay, for now, we said we're gonna pronounce it as a. We're gonna learn how to pronounce along with the accents later on. For now, as we said, we're assuming everything has the fath'a, the accent with the top thing on top. So we call it a, right? So this is for the first letter. With fath'a, it sounds like a, as in apple, right? When you say apple, you don't say apple or apple, you say apple. So it's telling you, it sounds just like a when you're saying apple. So a, this is how you say a, okay? This letter has different forms depending on if it's in the beginning of the word, middle, end, and if it's by itself, just like this one, okay? But it has only 4 shapes, 1 for each position. Also, you're gonna be a little worried and it's a little too complicated, oh my God, don't freak out. Take a deep breath. Let's all take a deep breath. Okay, it's not too complicated. It has another trick. The trick is it has a tooth and one dot below. A tooth and one dot below. There's two teeth, but that's fine. As long as it has one tooth and one dot below, it's the letter ba. So with fath'a, with the accent fath'a, it sounds like ba, as in bat. Ba as in bat. So anytime you see this tooth, something like a small tooth, and I put dots here, meaning there are things that connect here. There are things coming, you know, something is being written and then connects to here. Something I forgot to mention, sorry about that, is if you see, I put the beginning on the right side of the table and the end on the left side of the table. The reason is, what we're trying to say is that the Arabic language is, of course, written from right to left. So everything is from right to left. In the beginning, you start with this letter like that, and you keep going. In the middle, there was something written here, and then you join with ba, and you keep going. If you're ending with it, that's how you end with it. If it's by itself, it's by itself. Here, a quick question to Brother Rizan. Are the letters here, the text, hidden by videos or not? Because it's hidden for me. Next to the star, there are like stuff, I guess. Now maybe it's better. Let me minimize this thing. Is Brother Rizan in? Okay.
Yes.
So can you see these?
Yeah, even, yeah, now we can see it.
Before you couldn't?
No.
Okay.
Now we can see it.
Okay. So
Sorry,
this,
cannot, yeah.
no problem. The star here is telling you, if you can see it, start letters cannot connect to other letters from the left side. All the letters connect from the right side. So all the letters of the alphabet, 28 of them, they can connect from the right side. Some of them connect from the left, and some of them do not connect from the left. So it's a small amount or small number of them that cannot connect from the left side. I put a star next to each letter that does not connect from the left side. Okay, so now this is the red is the letter. Okay, and as you can see, the red letter actually never connects from the left. Okay, from the right, they all connect. So even this letter can connect from the right side, but from the left side, it cannot connect. The blue here is not a letter. Like I said, it's a symbol. Okay, so it might be a little confusing, but we'll be better at it next time. The third letter we have is ta. And ta is a tooth with two dots on it. A tip for this letter is one tooth with one dot below, b, below. Below starts with a b, right? B, below. So b. Some people find it useful to remember it like that. When you have a dot below, below starts with b, so that's a ba. When a tooth has two dots, two is starting with ta. That's ta. Two dots, that's ta. Three dots, that's tha. Tha, ta, and ba. For now, we're going to ignore the complicated shapes that comes with ta, these two, I want you to ignore these two. Just look at the rest of them that match these except for the dots, right? So it's just the dots that are different. So we have these 4 letters, and what I want you to do is to look at them and try to memorize them in your head right now. And if anybody has any question at this moment, please ask right now. I know somebody chatted with me a while ago, but if you have any question, please unmute yourself and ask. If not, let's go to the exercise. Okay, we're gonna do this exercise together. Of course, I'll be talking by myself, but I want you to go through it and try to answer it as I'm going through it. It says practice by circling the letters you recognize. So we assume we just learned only 4 letters right now. Practice by circling the letters you recognize in the following words and pronouncing them loudly. So you're supposed to circle any letter that you see that you recognize and then pronounce it loudly. First, we're gonna start reading from this, or scanning with our eyes from this side, right? So we're gonna go from here, right to left. And then we're gonna go to the second line and go from right to left. So let's go from right to left here. I'm going from right to left and I go through this. And this is, I see this small symbol. And this symbol reminds me of something, right? That's the first letter, letter A. That's the letter A. Somebody's sharing, please do not share or do not annotate. Let me just be the only one who annotates so we don't make a mess. Okay. This letter, by the way, this letter might look like something we learned, but if we look at it, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 teeth under 3 dots. We haven't learned that letter yet. So I'm gonna skip that letter because I don't know how to pronounce it yet. Here, I have 1 tooth and 2 dots above it. 1 tooth and 2 dots. 2 ta. So that's a ta right here. Then I keep going. There's a circle with 2 dots. I don't know anything with circles right now. I skip it. There's a tooth and 2 dots, 2 teeth with 2 dots, and that's the last shape of ta here. So that's ta again. Okay, so now we move on to the next word. This is a again. I'm assuming everything has the fath'a. For us, again, the Arabs who know the language very well, they can read Arabic without accents. They can read without the fath'a, kasra, dhamma, without the accents on top or below letters. It's easy for them if they know grammar very well. But if they don't, they need those even. And for us, I'm assuming we're all beginners, and almost all Qurans that I know today in our age have all the accents. Unless if you look at the really old Qurans that are preserved, there are no accents, and most of them actually don't even have the dots, believe it or not. So at that time, there were no dots even. So for people to read them, they already knew things by heart. They didn't need dots. We need those dots. Let's go back to here. So that's a. This is a shape we've never seen. This is a tooth, a small tooth. So you know this is a long one. It's long. This is the tooth. Is always a short one, but the dots are under it. We didn't learn anything with dots under it. Everything we learned for now is over. So I'll skip it. I'll skip This is a shape that is weird for me. This is a tooth with 3 dots. I know this. A tooth with three dots is tha. So this is tha. I keep going. I don't know this. I don't know this. This is part of the that I had, but it doesn't have the hamza. It doesn't have the symbol that I told you should look for. That means I can't pronounce it. We'll skip it. This is ba. This is ta. This is a. This is tha. And this is ta. We said we're gonna skip it for now to make it our life easier, but it's right here. It's a ta, 2 dots with that thing, okay? But we're not gonna talk about it for now. So these are the 4 letters for now. That was lesson 1. Tomorrow, let's make sure we know where these come out of. This is the picture we talked about. We said ba, ba, say ba all together. Ba comes from the lips, ba, ba. Ta, ta, ta is coming from the top of your tongue, ta, and from the inside of your teeth, ta, right above the inside of your teeth, ta, right? Just like you say letter T, ta. Tha. If you look at me, I don't know if my video is on, brother is on, is my video is also on at the same time or not? I don't really know.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tha, you put the tongue between your teeth and you push air out, right? Tha, tha. You put your tongue between your teeth, tha, and you push air out. That's tha. As for a, it comes from deep down, right here. A, a, a. That's where these letters come from, okay? Now we have some exercises that we're gonna go through tomorrow, but I'm gonna also ask you to do something by the time we get together tomorrow. I'm gonna show you what I'm asking you to do. I want you to go to Surah Al-Baqarah. I want you to make wudu, open the Quran, go to, I think it's the 2nd page in Surah Al-Baqarah, right? And ayah number 6 starts with ayah number 6. 2nd page, so it's not the 1st page, the 2nd page in Surah Al-Baqarah. 1st page is Surah Al-Fatiha. Then you have 1 page of Surah Al-Baqarah, the 2nd page. I want you to go through 1 page slowly and try to see if you, every time you see one of the 4 letters we learned today. This way you can start practicing how to detect them with your eyes. So I'm gonna go through 1 line quickly. This is a, right? Even though the accent is underneath here, but I'm saying it's an a. I keep going here, I don't recognize anything. And this is a. I keep going. This is another a. And a. This is ta, right? So I want you to try your best to go through this example so that you start training your eyes to detect those letters, okay? Because it's important to start doing that. And the earlier you do that, the better. You start going through that and you start detecting the letters that you are reading. So that's your homework for tomorrow. And inshallah, I'm gonna text everybody now if I know how to do that. My email address, so that if you would like the book, please just copy paste that email address and send it to me, and inshallah I'll be emailing you that book. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. If anybody has a question before I leave, please say it now. Otherwise, please, you can leave the class and I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah.